Hey everyone, it's Rita with Everything Homemade, and I am absolutely excited to bring one of my favorite recipes to you today. It's actually our 18-year anniversary on Sunday, so I'm going to make this recipe because it's one of our favorites and I can't wait to share it with you. So I am going to make a gluten-free cheesecake. Now, a lot of you might go, well, you know, the original dairy cheesecake is pretty good. And I do have to agree, and I was a dairy cheesecake lover, let me tell you. And then I started making the gluten-free cheesecake with the cashews, and oh my word, in this case, it is absolutely delicious. Plus, I don't have to actually put anything in the oven. So that's a huge bonus. So if you haven't heard or are new to the channel, I have a cookbook out called Everything Stevia. Now, this is a comprehensive cookbook that will take you on how to grow stevia, how to make my stevia extract, and I make the stevia extract with water, so this is not an alcohol-based extract, how to store that, everything in depth. I go through 160 plus recipes in here using that stevia extract that I show you how to make. I mean, there are pictures in here, there is a ton of recipes, and these are down-to-earth recipes, you guys. These are using ingredients that you can go to Costco and get. No weird ingredients for sure. I really try to explain everything in depth in here. And so if you're looking for really good recipes on using stevia, then this definitely is the cookbook for you. So go to the website, everything-homemade.com. You can order this cookbook right off my website. It comes in the paperback like you see here, and it also comes in ebook form. And when you do order it, you directly support my family. So I just want to say thank you so much. So if you have your Everything Stevia cookbook handy, whether it's in paperback or e-form, I want you to flip to page 168. So you're gonna find here that on this side you're going to find the dairy-free cheesecake using the stevia, and on the other side, if you are dairy lovers, there's also a dairy cheesecake as well using the stevia. So this is good for both worlds. But today I am going to show you the dairy-free cheesecake. So the first instruction in the cookbook says mix 3 cups of cashews with 6 cups of cold water in a bowl. Now I'm going to use a measuring cup. You can use whatever you want. Just we need to mix those two ingredients together 4 hours ahead of time. So this is really critical because the cashews need that time to soften up. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's go do it. So like I said, you can use a bowl or a measuring cup. I'm going to pour in 3 cups of cashews. Now mine are already in pieces. You can definitely soak whole cashews if you like. It doesn't matter in this case. So 3 cups of cashews, and now I'm gonna pour over 6 cups of cold water. Now my water is filtered water. It doesn't have chlorine in it. I really like to use unchlorinated water. So when you're done that, it's so simple. I'm gonna put a lid on mine because I have cats in the house and I definitely don't want them drinking out of this. And so I'm gonna just lid mine, put it on the counter, and let it soak for 4 hours. It is 4 hours later and it's time to make the crust. So I have a 8 by 8 inch square pan here. You can use springform pan as well if you want to pop it out. You'll have to line it with parchment paper first, so that's totally up to you. I have my blender here. You can use a food processor if you want to make the crust. It doesn't matter in this case which one. Use what you got. So the first ingredient I'm going to put in here is 3/4 of a cup of almonds. Now, if you don't like almonds, you can use a different nut in this case. You can even use a seed. So if you are allergic to almonds, you can use even sunflower seeds. You can use pumpkin seeds. You can use Brazil nuts. So in this case, you could really substitute up the nuts, but you do need some kind of nut or a seed element in here. Don't use sesame seeds or chia seeds. That's a little fine. Something like a sunflower seed or a pumpkin seed. Okay, now you need a cup and a half of raisins. Now, if you don't have raisins, you can use 1 cup of pitted dates. You can also use a cup of figs if you want. What you're looking for here is the stickiness of the dried fruit. So like I said, figs, raisins, and dates really work well here in this case because it really acts like the glue in the crust to hold all these ingredients together. So I'm using raisins because that's what I've got in the house today. And then I am going to be using 1/4 of a cup of unsweetened shredded coconut. So I'm gonna add that in. And then you need a little bit of salt. So I am using 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. That goes in there. And now we're going to blend this up until it sticks together. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for all these ingredients to stick together for the crust. As you can see, it goes pretty quick. So take a look at this. You can see how sticky it is. That's exactly what we want. So now let's put it in the pan. You don't have to worry about lining this one here unless you're using a spring form, because the spring form, the whole point is to popping that out. I'm not in this case for our anniversary. We're just gonna cut the pieces in here, and so I don't have to worry about oiling it or anything like that. So just with your hands here, you just want to press evenly the crust down, just like that, and you can see it really comes together. You can even use the back. You can even use your knuckles here. There you go. So this really adds a little bit of sweetness to the dish naturally. A little crunch element to the silky smooth top. So it all complements each other at the end. So there you have it. The crust is done. Now let's set this aside. Now it's time to make the filling. So what we're gonna do is I am just going to put everything into the blender once again for the filling. So the very first thing what we're gonna do is we need to strain off those cashews. Remember, we soaked them for 4 hours in water. So let's strain out that water. And the cashews can be a little lighter color when they're soaked. Sometimes they got a little pinkish hue. No big deal. Don't get alarmed. It's okay. This really takes out the impurities called phytic acid. So this actually helps your body to digest the cashews better when you soak. Plus it makes the cashews soft, and that's what we need in this case. So have them strained. And then what we want to do is put them into our blender. So the next ingredient you want to add in is 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice. Now I like using fresh lemon juice, so that you usually can get 1/4 of a cup from 1 lemon. Then what you want to add in is 2 tablespoons of that stevia extract that I showed you how to make. Look how beautiful and green this is. So I show you in detail how to make this stevia extract in the cookbook. So you want 2 tablespoons of that. The next ingredient you want to add in is 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now this is gluten-free vanilla extract. This gives it that really nice vanilla flavor to the cashews. It's absolutely delicious. The next ingredient is melted coconut oil. Now, it is critical that you're using coconut oil. The coconut oil will actually stiffen up this cheesecake, and it is critical that you use it. So we're actually using the properties of this oil to make this cheesecake hold together, stiffen up after it's been in the fridge for at least 12 hours. So this is a really critical ingredient. So we're gonna put that in. And it doesn't taste heavy coconut oily or anything like that. With all the other ingredients, it just becomes a background flavor. So the very last ingredient is your coconut milk. So let's add that in at 1/2 cup, and then let's blend it up on high. You really gotta blend this up on high till it's silky smooth. So let's do it. Okay, so let's just check it. I'm just going to use my spatula. So take a look. See how silky smooth that is? If your blender didn't make it as silky smooth in 50 seconds as mine, do it a little longer, but this is what you're looking for. Beautiful texture. Beautiful, silky, smooth texture. Now, pour in your filling on top of your crust. So at this point, I'm just gonna cover it up with some plastic wrap and place it in the fridge for 12 hours. "12 hours has passed, and look at it. Beautifully set, look at that, no jiggle, and that's what you want. You want it not to jiggle, and that is the coconut oil in here stiffening it right up. So this looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna take a little piece out of here before my family has it for supper tonight with our anniversary. And I'm gonna put it on the plate, and I will serve this plate up a little later after supper. But I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. Now, if you use a spring form here and you had parchment paper, you just open up the spring form and pop it right out. I left it here in a pan, so I am actually just gonna cut this into as even as I possible squares. So let's just do that right now. Now the first one is always the hardest to get out, so let's get the next one out here so I can get underneath. Beautiful. Take a look, you got a beautiful set here. You have a little bit of crust, it's not overdoing it, and it's just absolutely stunning to look at. Now the first piece I took out, I lost a little bit of crust. Like I said, the first piece is always the hardest, especially if you put it in a pan like this, but the second piece usually comes out perfect. And so what I'm gonna do is just put it on a plate. Look at that, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, now we need to try it. You know what the best thing about this cheesecake is it's velvety, silky. Richness to it. That crust with that little bit of raisins, or if you use dates or figs, just gives it that little bit of sweetness that you need, but it's not like overtaking. It's a really beautiful balance between the vanilla cashew richness. That texture is just unbelievably delicious mixed with that crust. Man, you have got to try this. I guarantee you will absolutely love it. So if you want more great recipes using stevia, check out my cookbook, Everything Stevia. It's on the website. Head to the website, everything-homemade.com. You will find it there in paperback and ebook form. And just to let you know that I am working on another cookbook called Everything Whole Wheat Sourdough. So we're talking about recipes using sourdough. And in there, you're actually gonna find 3 different kind of sweeteners. So I'm gonna call for stevia. I'm also gonna give you the alternative to use honey or any liquid sweetener. I am also gonna put in the amounts for a granulated sugar, such as either white sugar, coconut sugar, brown sugar, or any other alternative granular sugar. So it'll be using sourdough. You can use the stevia that you use in the first cookbook, and if you would like to cook with whole wheat sourdough and not put in the sugar, you could definitely use stevia in this cookbook. So it's really gonna give you all those good alternatives, but everything I'm going to show you is with sourdough. So that's coming out in 2024. If you would like to subscribe to the website, definitely do. I'll send you an email when it's ready for pre-order, or just subscribe to this channel and you'll know when it's ready for pre-order. I'm so excited to be able to write another cookbook for all of you. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.